In spiritual Christianity, the concept of heaven transcends the materialistic views of reality based on space and time as fundamental to existence. This spiritual perspective views heaven not as a location subject to space and time, but as a state of being intrinsically linked to divine omnipresence and the collective spiritual condition of angelic minds. Here, the divine being, heaven, and the angels within it, along with all its elements, are interpreted in ways that defy traditional physical dimensions, revealing a profound spiritual or mental order orchestrated by divine love and wisdom. The divine being, or God, is omnipresent in heaven, but this omnipresence is not something extended through space or time. Unlike physical entities that occupy spatial dimensions and are subject to temporal progression, God's presence transcends these constraints. This omnipresence means that God is intimately involved in every aspect of heaven without being contained within the spatial and temporal limitations that govern physical existence. For the Lord to be omnipresent in heaven and to angels, they must be non-spatial and non-temporal. If heaven was subject to space and time, it would imply that God himself would need to be spatial and temporal to be omnipresent within it, which contradicts the divine nature. Thus, heaven exists in a realm where space and time as we understand them do not apply. This realm allows for the full expression of divine omnipresence without the constraints of material dimensions. When we understand that God's omnipresence is incompatible with spatial and temporal constraints, we can view heaven as the collective consciousness of angelic states of mind. This collective state of mind is produced solely by the Lord's inflowing life, suggesting that heaven is not a place but a condition of spiritual existence. In this view, the true essence of heaven is found wherever charity and faith from the Lord are present. Thus, heaven is realized in the internal mental states of angelic beings, reflecting their alignment with divine love and wisdom. The most perfect form of heaven is the aggregate of diverse angelic minds working as a harmonious whole. Here, the term form has a spiritual connotation different from its physical application. Instead of referring to shapes or structures in space, it denotes the right relationship and integration of angelic minds. In this context, heaven's form is characterized by the interconnectedness and harmonious functioning of individual angels, contributing to the collective well-being and happiness of the entire heavenly community. In heaven, communication occurs through affections and thoughts, rather than verbal or physical means. Each angelic mind receives these communications according to its state of love and wisdom derived from the Lord. This mode of interaction underscores the spiritual nature of heaven, where connections are made through deeper internal experiences rather than external expressions. The fluid and non-material communication focused on the exchange and transfer of what is good and true as affections and thoughts generates the spiritual unity and mutual understanding that defines the heavenly state. The Lord's omnipresence in heaven orders the infinite varieties that angelic forms of mind take, ensuring that each serves its appropriate use. This divine order is essential, embodying the truest sense of order that aligns with the nature of heaven. In this framework, spiritual forms are not static but are continually adapted to specific purposes, contributing to the overall harmony and function of heaven. Each form of mind's alignment with divine order reflects its capacity to fulfill its role within the heavenly community. The forms of angelic minds are their adaptations to specific uses within heaven, shaped by their states of love and wisdom. These forms are willing recipients of the divine order that prevails in heaven. In essence, the forms are not fixed physical structures, but dynamic states of angelic consciousness that align with divine purposes. The adaptability and responsiveness of these forms to divine influence highlight the fluid and evolving nature of spiritual existence in heaven. Heaven's form is such that each individual contributes to the well-being of the whole, and the whole in turn enhances the mental improvement, happiness and delights of each individual. This collective well-being is achieved through the renunciation of selfishness and the subordination of self-love to the love of others. The harmonious interaction of individual contributions creates a heavenly state, where the happiness of each is intimately connected to the happiness of all, embodying the highest ideals of spiritual unity and love. The nature of heaven in spiritual Christianity presents a transformative view that transcends traditional notions of space and time. Divine omnipresence, the non-spatial and non-temporal nature of heaven, and the spiritual forms of angelic minds reflect a profound order orchestrated by divine love and wisdom. Heaven is understood as a state of mind where charity and faith prevail, and its most perfect form is the harmonious collective of angelic beings, each contributing to the well-being of the whole. This spiritual perspective invites a deeper appreciation of the interconnectedness and dynamic nature of existence beyond physical dimensions. It is a perspective that looks to the divine purpose of a heaven from the human race, and so the happiness of all.